Hey everybody, Crow back again, and this is another video response to Novabug's Friday Foursome series. This time the question is, what are your top 4 collection goals, or basically 4 collection goals? Now for me, I'm going to answer this a little bit differently because I don't really have collection goals, at least not really. I don't know if I ever did. I did collect a lot of stuff. But for me, I haven't been going around and buying a lot of stuff as much as I used to. If you've been a long-time watcher on this channel, you used to know that one of the cornerstones of my channel was pickup videos. It's the thing I did the most, and I kind of evolved it over time. But I haven't done one of those pickup videos in a long time. I kind of stopped the series. Don't worry, it will come back, but probably not as frequently as it used to. I am kind of in the works of trying to plan out a pickups video sometime soon. I'm just waiting for a couple more things to come, and then I will do a pickups video. I mean, for me, it's more about cultivation, I guess. And I guess that would be my #1 goal, I guess, and it's just the kind of a side effect of what I'm doing is collection cultivation. I am nowhere near the peak of number of video games I used to have, and that's primarily because back in 2012/13 I decided, you know, I have too much video games and I'd rather have a pinball machine. So I started listing and selling a lot of stuff, and it wasn't just limited to games. I sold a whole bunch of consoles that I used to have over the years. I kind of got the bug of selling stuff, so every so often I'll still scan through my collection and I'll say, well, I don't really need this game, or I don't really want this game. I can't see myself playing this game. And basically, the criteria I have for keeping a game is basically either games that I can see myself playing in the future, or I just have heavy nostalgia for. There were games that I kept in my collection because, oh, they're rare and valuable or whatever, so I should have it in my collection. And I hit the point one day where I'm like, well, you know, would I rather have the money, or would I rather just keep this game that I'm probably never going to play? And, like, I guess the biggest game that I sold off was I had a complete in-box copy of Earthbound for Super Nintendo. So basically it was like, would I rather have the money, or would I rather have the game? And the fact of the matter is, I had the SNES Classic at the time. I was like, well, if I want to play Earthbound, I could just play it on there. What do I need the cartridge for? And so that's where I am. I basically just have to have some sort of nostalgia, or I just like having the game. Maybe there's something about the artwork or the packaging or something. So that's going to lead me into my second, I guess, collection goal. And it's not really for me a goal so much as that I like collecting this genre of games, and that's pinball. I like video game pinball games. So I guess this would be the game that kind of set me off on that. This is video pinball for the Atari 2600. I played this so much as a kid, and I guess that kickstarted my love of these video pinball games. Like, don't get me wrong, I like real pinball as well, as evident by the fact that I went out and I now have 4 pinball machines. But still, as a kid, you know, me playing video pinball on the Atari 2600, it really got me into, you know, really interested in playing those video pinball games on like computers and consoles and stuff. So every time I'm out somewhere and I see a pinball game for something that I don't have, I usually have to buy it. Now, I've limited myself to pinball games on consoles I do own. So like, and I thought I'd just kind of go through some of them here because, you know, why not? It's my video. So video pinball. I was collecting, you know, stuff. I was just looking at the shelves and I'm pulling stuff. I'm like, this is by no means all of the pinball games I have. But these are just the ones I grabbed off the shelf because I thought they, just because. Crew Ball, that's a good one. Genesis, Dino Land, not so much a good one, but still, it's a pinball game. So, and then Psycho Pinball was suggested for me one time for the Sega Genesis. All these were Sega Genesis. Actually, this is for a Mega Drive because this was never released in the US. Nintendo DS, we got Metroid Prime Pinball. This one actually came with a Rumble Pack. Oh, Family Pinball, which is actually, now I'm kind of going out of order, but Family Pinball is the Famicom version of Rockin' Ball in the US, and there are actually differences in there. This is an actual Namco game that's got Pac-Man in it, whereas this was not published by Namco, so they took out all the Pac-Man references and they kind of changed a little things up. Pinball for the Famicom do have this for the NES as well, but I didn't pull that. Here we've got a Japanese version of Kirby's Pinball Land, I believe that is, for the Game Boy. Revenge of the Gator, another excellent pinball game for the Game Boy. Game Boy has, you know, a good number of pinball games. Game Boy Advance does too. I mean, we've got Pokemon Pinball Advance here, I believe that is, or no, Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. Pac-Man Pinball, you probably can't even see these, they're so small. We got Sonic Pinball Party. We got Mario Pinball Land. Pinball Dreams on the Super Nintendo. I know there's a whole bunch of them on the Super Nintendo I don't have. And I know I've got High Speed, but also Pinbot on the NES. We've got, another good one, interesting one, Power Rangers Zeo Full Tilt Battle Pinball. And then we've got on like the PS4, the Marvel Pinball Epic Collection Volume 1. There'll never be a Volume 2. Well, if there is, I'll be very surprised. And also, even on the Switch, we got a couple pinball games here. We got Peach Ball, Stern Pinball Arcade for the Switch, Star Wars Pinball, which I do highly recommend, from Zen Studios. So yeah, I could go on for a long time. I probably have at least double that, or even more. I don't even know. But I didn't want to be listing off pinball games that I have the whole video, but just a good number of them. All right, my third collection goal is collecting these album-style boxes for the Commodore 64, or games pretty much. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about boxes like this. This is an album-style box for Archon, for the Commodore 64. So it looks like it holds like a mini record, but in fact it just holds the instructions and the floppy disk and everything. And to me, this was the best style of game box ever created. I would love to see something like this come back. Like, could you imagine if like the PS5 and the Xbox One came out and they went to this kind of, and it would be, you know, you wouldn't be making any plastic or anything. This is all cardboard. So could you imagine if they did this and just slipped the disc in there? That would be awesome. And but like you got the whole story, you got the game's creators. I mean, this is back when, way back when EA was at its peak for me. I mean, so we got Archon, Archon 2, Darkstalkers, Mail Order Monsters, Chuck Yeager, Advanced Flight Combat. We got Marble Madness. We got Music Construction Set. We got Bill Bulger's Pinball Construction Set. And of course, this is another one of, this kind of fits in both categories, right? Racing Destruction Set, Sky Fox, and Touchdown Football. Anytime I ever see one of these. Now, some of these I went out and purposely bought on eBay. And that was pretty much because nostalgia, because I used to have a lot of these as a kid, or rather my my uncle did, and then he handed it off to us, and I don't know what happened to him. So like games like Archon, Archon 2, Demon Stalkers, Mail Order Monsters, Chuck Yeager, Marble Madness, Music Construction Set, Racing Destruction Set, Sky Fox. I mean, most of these I had as a kid, so I wanted to get these again. But to me, these are the best game boxes. Now, Electronic Arts wasn't the only company that made boxes like this. So if I see any others for any other companies doing it, like Accolade did them too. So I have one here from Accolade, Law of the West, which is a fantastic game in its own right. And again, I mean, these things, you open them up. Why don't they? I mean, there's no reason with compact discs why they can't do boxes like this anymore. You can make them even smaller if you want, but I just love these. And when they're on the shelf, they take up so little room. And then Mindscape did them as well. We got Indoor Sports, which was a game I played a lot as a kid as well, so I had to have Indoor Sports. And Xevious. Found this at a video game summit one year. One guy was selling it. So basically, whenever I go out to a convention or something, a flea market, I'll ask if they have either Commodore stuff, you know, or something like that. And I'm not limiting myself to these types of game boxes, because I'll buy just almost any Commodore stuff if I don't have it. But this is the stuff that I really look out for when I go out. I don't really look for pinball games that often. I don't scan every little cartridge or whatever looking for pinball games. But if I see these, I'll probably buy them, even if they seem a little expensive. That is number 3. Now, collection goal number 4. There's really not, I mean, like I said, don't really have goals, but I do have little odds and ends that I do kind of keep my eye out for if I could find them for a reasonable price. And that's just what my number 4 is, little odds and ends. Things like, and when I'm talking about little odds and ends, I'm talking about like hardware. So, a Commodore 64C. If I saw that for a decent price, I'd probably buy I'd probably buy a Commodore 64C. I'd probably buy an Atari 1200 XL. And really, this is just down to nostalgia for me because I used to have both those systems when I was a kid. I'd like to have that Commodore monitor. I can't remember what the code number on it was, but that's going to be, I mean, if I go looking for it, I'm going to wind up paying an extremely high price for it. But I'd love to have a Commodore monitor. Things like maybe an Apple IIe if I happen to see one, just because those were the computers we had at school. So basically just nostalgia-based hardware items like that. That's, I guess, would be my 4th collection goal. And with that, I think I'll end the video because I probably rambled on for far too long. Thanks for watching. I would recommend checking out Novabug's original video on this, and also check out Novabug's Facebook post, because what he does is he will post the videos of the people that responded, and he will judge a winner based on the number of thumbs up those videos get. I guess that's the way how he wants it to work. So I would check out Novabug's Facebook page on Facebook, and also the original video where he explains the whole thing. And with that, we'll end the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.